Hello, everybody. Sorry I started this up a little bit late. I'm Dren608. This is another in the CUCU solo playthrough campaign of Unconditional Surrender, game designed by Salvatore Vasta, published by GMT Games. This is the BGA module. Board Game Arena has lots of board games that you can play across the world online, turn-based or live. Definitely a nice vehicle for playing board games when you can't get your regular group together. Really took off here during the pandemic. We are going into November 1943 here. Like I said, I'm Dren608. If you like what you see, hit the thumbs up button. If you really like what you see, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the notify button. You'll be notified whenever I upload other videos and or schedule other streams. So we're at the declaration of war phase. The Germans skipped theirs. The West really doesn't want to start any more wars, and the Soviets can't. Germans do have 36 points. It is fair in the warm zone down here, so I'm going to give one to Italy. I'm going to give one to Spain, because I'm not sure how much I'm going to have to move around down here. I can't remember if I needed to give one to the Turks, because we're playing around here in the Middle East. We're in a world of hurt here in the Middle East because this infantry unit here is isolated. So that's going to be a problem because he's got a good strong, West has a good strong position here for the moment. We're going to have to try and see if we can't bust that up. It's going to be a tough fight to try and do anything. Yeah, this is the best response that I've ever had with the Allies to this particular strategy line. So I will say right now that I'm sure that I must have misplayed this as the Axis, because I've never seen the Axis have this much trouble. The Allies basically have driven me back down into November of 43. At the end of this turn, it's possible that the Soviets may come back into the war. So I have to think about that as well with my moves here. So with that in mind, we are going to go ahead and get started. I think I'm just going to say I'm done here, I guess. We're in strategic warfare. I'm at 1. He's at factory loss of 3. He's going to probably play his Ultra because he's at +5 to my +4, which means I'm probably going to lose a factory, but I think I'd rather lose a factory now and try and get it back next turn when the Soviets come in, when I might need to use the submarines to help me there. If you look at the turn track, I'm going to get a ground support. I get another factory next turn, so even if I lose one here, I'll still be at my 36 total. So, yeah, I don't think I'm going to commit. From the West standpoint, the partisans help them break out in the Middle East. They do have this Ultra could give them an extra +1, but I don't think I need it. I might be able to use the airdrop to break through the Middle East. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and play the Ultra as the West. Try and make sure I get a factory back for the British if I don't hit one on the Germans. And I got best die roll I could, so, or best split anyway, because of the halving. I did take Germany down 1, and I got 1 back for the UK. So that's a good thing. A strategic movement for the Germans. This is, I've been thinking about this. I really don't know what to do here. All my strategic moves are bad. I could, let me see if I can't make this a little bigger. There. A little bit more theater oriented. I could take this armored unit that I've been trying to pound on the American 5th and just rail it back over here so that it can head into the east. I do have an armored unit down here. I do need to get probably another armored unit up here somewhere to help slow down a northern advance. Quite simply, I'm way behind on my timetable. I should be. The idea was to conquer out French North Africa, recapturing Tangiers, and then be able to do something about this here. Since I'm paranoid, I am going to take this armored unit, and we're going to go way over here. And we're going to put that armored unit we're going to put him probably right in the line. So I'm going to go ahead and put him right there. You'll see him come traipsing across the map here in a second. There he is, heading to the east. That's what we're going to do there. With the west, I really don't have a strategic move at this point. These guys can't move anywhere. These guys are kind of threatening things. And this guy's not on a rail line. I really don't want to get that airplane. I want to make him use sorties up to stop the American aircraft. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to skip that. And the Soviets... Did I have one with the Soviets? I don't really have anything. I can move up to the line. My airplanes are where they belong. So yeah, I think I'm done with the Soviets as well. So this turn, the Soviets, when they do their upgrade, they will be doing their stuff. So for the Germans, what do I have here? Do I have a ground support? Yes, I do. I have ground support and heavy artillery. So I got to do a little bit of math here in my head. I think I'm going to drop the airdrop. I'm going to go ahead and try and make a desperate attack again on Gibraltar and see if I can get this to work. 2, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10. 7, 8, 9, 10. I think the best I can get is a +9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I was fortunate to get fair, so I'm not going to be hampered by the weather trying to go after Gibraltar. So we're going to go ahead and spend the airdrop on Gibraltar so that he'll be at best a +1. We are going to nuke out his Air Force. Ooh, bad die roll. Wow, that's very bad for the Germans. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, boy, that was unfortunate. I thought I would do better there. 6-1 splits against you. When you roll a 1 and the other guy rolls a 6, you tend to have bad luck here. So we're going to take this airplane, fly him back into the west, because we have to do the whole Western defense thing. This airplane is going to fly to here. he will spend one of his sorties to take on the American aircraft. And then he'll spend another sortie to take out the British aircraft. That's about the best I can do there. Okay, we've got here. So we're going to do the assault here. I said yes. Okay. So, so right now I'm +5. I could throw in an airplane for +7. Actually, I might throw in this airplane for +7. I could throw in the heavy artillery. That would leave the other guy being 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, +7 on the second attack. As best I can get to is a +9 to his +1, but I'm halved. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to save the. I'm going to try and see if I get him flipped with a retreat, which is what the British can't really retreat to Tangier because they don't want to give up Gibraltar, because that's lets the Italian fleet land there and then sail out and interfere with Sea Zone 16 and stuff. So they're going to go ahead and go there. I guess we go with the +9. I mean, I could throw in the infantry to get to +10, but then I have no second attack, and I need to have a second attack to try and take out Gibraltar. So we're going to go there. Commit. And I got a ridiculously good split. I rolled a 4 + 9 is a 13, and he rolled a 1. So I managed to take Gibraltar. The Canadian has to retreat because of the DD result. So he retreats into Tangier. This armored unit will go in here. The Americans have to retreat. So they're going to actually go to Casablanca so they can keep people in supply. So we still have our toehold in North Africa. But now we've taken Gibraltar, which simplifies a lot of things. The Germans need to garrison Cadiz. That means this armored unit can now sail off to the east as well. Okay. Looks like I didn't need to give myself the extra point for the Spanish. I was going to move this guy into northern Italy. I'm going to not forget to move this Yugoslav this time, so you can get over here to give me a second line of defense. Now we need to kind of shore up the front line here. I'm going to go ahead and put the 19th up here to try and prevent a northern swing. I got left 25. So I have a lot of points left, but I don't have a lot of movement capability up here. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to go down here. Oh, that's what I'm doing. I need to go over here. I pretty much gave up on this. If he really wants to come in and take out Kuwait and Basra, it'll take him a couple turns to do that. I'm trying to get this thing. He's in low supply, so it takes him forever to get anywhere. But we're just trying to get him over here to kind of slow down any kind of advance in here. Now this guy's going to be able to defend at 5 with his armored units against my German. So I'm thinking the question is whether I want to get desperate here or not. Because I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I could attack at +4, or I could attack the Canadian. I can't attack it very well. No matter what I do here, I'm not in a good position to defend all this. That's my problem. But this would solve some of my supply issues. So I'm going to go ahead and take a shot here. I'm going to go here. And we're going to attack the B.E.F. Go ahead and throw in my tanks, so I'm at +3. He's going to defend at +5. And confirm. Commit. And it's a no effect, which allows me to attack again, but only at +1. Do I want to bother? I think I have to. And the British do not want to get flipped. They're going to throw an airplane. Very low chance. They want to save the tank for a possible offensive back out, so they're going to take a chance here. And it was attacker attrition, so it worked out for the Brits. Now what I need to do is I need to move this Turk over here. And we want to move this Turk into here. I don't have a decent assault. I mean, I could go in there with him, would be a +1 for the unit, 1 for ground support, +2 from this guy over here. So I could attack him at like +4 to +5, which would get him to use up his aircraft more. But +4 to +5 means I can't do more than retreat him, and then he breaks out from there. Well, my German unit here is going to be in low supply or limited supply, so it's kind of like I have to. Let's see what the combat results tables look like. If he goes with a +5, I can't do anything to him. I throw that in. I might. It's a 1 in 36 shot to get a thing, but then I've used up his tanks marker. So that's what I'm going to do, trying to get him to use his tanks marker. Now the British, worst that happens is a DR if I save my tanks, but if DR flips me, it makes my tanks kind of useless. So I'm thinking maybe save the airplane instead. So I get a DR, I still have 3 sorties with the airplane to use with the 8th Army. So that's what we're going to try to do. And we got a no effect, which is good for us. That leaves this German infantry down here in limited supply. This one's flipped, so the entire German army here might be just totally annihilated, and the British reestablish themselves in the Middle East. Which is a good thing, because right now they just lost Gibraltar. So they lost this side of the Med, but they might be gaining the other side. But it's a long way around to get to the other side. I am in trouble here with stopping bombing. I won't be able to do that this turn. Even in fair weather, he's going to be able to probably get bombers through. So yeah, the German position is okay, but it's not ideal. One of the things I'm going to try here, I'm going to go ahead and use up the German Air Force here. I'm going to go after his fleet. So I'm 0 to his +1. got a good die roll there. So now I'm just going to keep going after the fleet to try and trim it down. Ooh, I got a really lucky die roll. So his fleet's at 4. I should be able to get the fleet up to 6. I mean, he can supply everything out through this anyway. But the idea is to let me be able to bring the Italian fleet, one of the Italian fleets here into Gibraltar, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and use up the German Air Force. Doesn't matter, I only had one sortie. And this German Air Force here, hello, is also going to be used up to make this an ineffective fleet. Okay. And then this Italian convoy is going to go ahead and move to Tripoli. And in this fleet that's in Alexandria, dang it, the fleet that's in Alexandria is going to go into Gibraltar because he doesn't have a fleet that can stop me. So now I have an Italian fleet and the German surface action marker. So I might be able to kind of confound his fleets and force him into a low supply situation. The armored that's behind Gibraltar there is going to head back to the east or into the west. I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to put it, but I do need to get that armored unit back up to where it can be doing something useful. This armored unit could attack at +3 to +3. I think I'm going to go ahead and try it because at +3 to +3, there's no chance for either DDs or AAs. So I'm just trying to get him to retreat. And I got an AS stop, so stopped. And then the Germans at this point are pretty much done. The Middle East is going to fall apart here very shortly. The Italians do not want to move anything because they want to get their aircraft and their fleet that they moved in both convoys. So they're done. Do I have anything to move around up here? Yugoslavs and such. I moved one. This guy's kind of where he belongs. This one's okay. Oh, I was going to do some German. I can do the German shuffle next turn. I can move the Italian up. There's going to be a little bit of a shuffle of the German garrison unit because he's right now in a place where he can be attacked from 2 hexes and be pushed back, and then a 3 hex attack down here, and all sorts of terrible things like that. So I want to try and avoid that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The German armor can go there. So if the Russians come in, Soviets come in, I still have a turn to try and straighten the line out the way that I want it to. Okay. I don't want to spend a point next turn. I'm going to be at 18. How many airplanes do I have? I have 2, 1, 2. Oh, that's what I was going to do. I was going to try and make sure that I have. I'm not going to confirm. I'm not going to escort it. All I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Norway there. What I'm doing here is I'm going to be able to keep this guy in supply this turn, the scavenger one, just in case. And then hopefully I will be able to get my aircraft out of Spain, start getting them to move back northward. Speaking of which, I think I'm going to go ahead and get this one started now. So he can fly all the way to there. Actually, can I get to Antwerp? I can go all the way to Antwerp. reason why Antwerp is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can actually get to Stavanger from Antwerp. So I can actually get my extra +1 next turn. Not this turn, but the following turn. December turn. Or no, January turn. So I'll get myself back up to +3. Or 5. I'll be at +5. So I'm going to lose the one at Cairo. This armored unit is probably going to have to go back that way. This Italian then will, back up towards Algiers. Won't be able to stop the Americans from just pushing across here. But then again, it's the winter of 43 to 44, and if they're busily trying to bang around in North Africa, they are not preparing for a proper overlord, which to me is just fine. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to see how this works. The Spanish are kind of lined up in case the Portuguese come in, because if they come in, then this armored unit's not going to go west, it's going to go conquer Portugal. And then I have to garrison the ports there. So life is not good for me right now. What's the West have coming? The West is going to have some bomber and an aircraft, so they're going to be having to figure out a way to do some shuttling around with their convoys, because their convoys are all kind of committed to supporting their Middle East and Northern Africa endeavors. So yeah, I think I'm done with the Germans. I think I'm done with the Axis. So we're going to say we're done. We're not going to eliminate anything next turn. We are not going to declare war. Somebody might come in because of diplomacy, but we're not going to be the cause of it. So now, supply all, no convoys. And I have this problem. So I'm going to supply the Nor infantry. Oh, geez, that's a big decision here. He can invade. If I leave the Nor unsupplied, he'll be a 0, which I can throw a tank on. Well, not this turn. Oh dear, I'm in trouble. This guy would be -2. So I think I want to be at 0s. I want to be at 0s, right? So he's going to actually go into Oslo. I'm going to leave him be full supplied. This Panzer and that infantry want to leave in supply. He's got to go to no supply because he's... Where is he? Yeah, he doesn't have a choice. He can't be supplied, so he goes to limited supply. Which makes him only a 0, so the British have a good chance of just getting rid of him altogether because he's isolated. So, so now this guy could actually be supplied. Interesting. Except I don't have that many sorties. I do need to keep this armored unit and this infantry unit so I can flip him over. This guy's going to be full supplied. This guy is not. He's going to go to Helsinki, and we're just going to have to go to Baghdad. Tripoli. Where's the first? Who's this? It's the 9th. We've got to keep the 9th in supply. Where am I down to? I need to come down one more army. Actually, I think I can go Tunis. So I will be at 3. I actually want to be at... I want this guy to be at 5 and this guy to be at 6. Well, and then I'll be at 4 and 3. It's 6 one, half dozen of the other. Yeah, we'll just do it that way. Alright, and that's the way we'll supply everybody. And then we are done. Now it's the west. Because I was flipped, I don't even have a shot at trying to get back into Gibraltar at this point. I could try to invade into Gibraltar, but um, I'm not really in a position to pull off an invasion. Against the armored unit. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to try to hang on to Tangier and do sort of a winter mucking about here in North Africa and concentrate on trying to come across during the winter through the desert, clearing out the Italians. If I can clear the Italians pretty much out of North Africa, then I have a chance uh, to bring some fleets around the corner and into like Port Said and Alexandria and stuff. So we're going to start off down there. We have 28. Do we need to build our surprise attack marker? Yes, we do. So somewhere in here we're going to have to not do anything. But right now it's too good of a chance for me to blow everything up. So I could be +3. Okay, so I think I'm going to start with the 8th Army. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 to go this way. We're going to throw in an airplane so that I'm +5 to 0. See if I get a good die roll. I did get a DD. I'm not going to take the hex because no. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go after the Italians. Throw in the airplane, and he will throw in the tanks because he's got to. It leaves me at only a +3, so not a very good chance of really doing any damage to him. But I have a chance, so I'm going to try it. And I got no effect. So then I'm done. And now this is the guy that tries to do the offensive. He goes in here, uses up the airplane, so that we're +3 to 0. And see if we get a good die roll. We got a no effect. So we'll just go after him at +1 to 0. And we got a DD, which is what I wanted to see, because now I can go here. Now if I attack here, I'll be -1. Oh dear. I do have... I could go there and then bring an American fleet over here for supply. Okay, we're going to do some shenanigans here and see if this actually works. This might be a bad idea. We're going to go ahead and move here. We're going to attack here. Oh, I can't attack there? I don't have enough movement points left? 4 movement points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. So I'm -1 to his 0, hoping for a really good die roll. And I didn't get it. Okay. So now I have to do shenanigans, as they call it. First shenanigan is to go ahead and pick this guy up. Naval transport. I'm going to go ahead and escort. And we're just going to land here. No room for unit. Oh, that's right. I have a convoy in there that I have to get out of there. That's right. So this American convoy. Undo move. I forgot I have to move the American convoy out first. He's got to leave. So he's going to go to the South Atlantic Ocean. And then he's just going to go ahead and finish up his move by going a second move into eastern North America to help me bring in those airplanes. Okay, and then now we're going to. This is where we go. This is where this was important because that fleet can't. I can't get a fleet over there. That was a mistake on my part. I can't get the fleet out. I can't supply him. Oh, this was a very bad move by me on the west. Very, very bad move. Oh, so stupid. So this guy's going to have to be pretty much out of supply because I have nowhere to take him to supply. Oh dear. Port side's going to be out of supply because I can't go through here. So I shouldn't have advanced. I should not have taken Port Said. I should have just sat there where I was at and gone after it next turn. Oh, bollocks. So this may backfire on me. At least there's no German units around here, so I'm not fighting Germans, but this could be a real problem going forward. I am going to have to bring this guy in. We're just going to stay there. So while I've secured somewhat of Egypt, I got too greedy. I should not have gone up to this port. I should have just stayed here and attacked straight across instead, because now I'm going to be in limited supply myself. There's nothing I can do because even if I move this convoy and it gets through all the German or Italian fleets and things, because the Germans put this guy down to 6, I wasn't thinking clearly. He can't move and get out of the way to let somebody base here and then sail across the Med. So this was important for the Germans. Some object lesson. It's important to have knocked this off once I took out Gibraltar, because by doing this, I'm keeping any fleets from getting in this way because they can't go through that strait. They have to land at Tangier for one move and then move off with a second move. And because that fleet's at 6, he can't move. So he's stuck there. Now I could move the convoy in, but it still can't supply through the strait. And he's next to the canal, so I can't supply down the canal. So I screwed up with the West miserably here. In my overzealousness, I should have just stayed here and attacked across so that if I failed, it would still be in supply. So, very bad move on my part. Very, very bad move on my part. All right, so to compensate for all that, we might need. The question is do I want to go ahead and go after him in Norway? Oh, that's what I didn't do. No wonder. I was wondering why that didn't work. It didn't work because the partisans should have been played on the Turk. So I can play the partisans on the German infantry. He'd be a -2. I would be 3, 4, 5. So by landing in Stavanger with the home fleet, I'm threatening the German convoys. Oh. Huh. Wow. Um, that's interesting concept there. Well, we know from the bombing run thing that I should be able to get to Berlin without being touched. And the Americans are just going to bore straight in. To Dusseldorf. So he only has the one airplane with, he'd be a -2 to my minus many. So he can try to cut down some of my sorties here. Fails that. Uh, so now I'm a -3. So I'm not going to intercept him anymore because it's just not going to work. Well, I could make it so he can't fly anymore. So the most he'll get is +4. It'd be +6 to my +3, 4. Yeah. I guess we just finish it off here. And we don't stop him. So, but he can't do any more. So he's done. And then the British are going to just do a bombing. So we go finish that. And see, now I'm +3, +2. I'm +5 to his +4. Do I want to go up another one while I still can before the German Air Force gets back? Let's go ahead and do another one. This is +5. Do I have an ultra coming? Okay, I have an ultra coming back next turn. So I guess I'm just going to go ahead and run it up while I can. Get a major advantage to the west this turn, because if the Russians come in, then we'll have a chance to like double whammy him next turn. Maybe take him down to 3. Okay. Now the question is, do I want to try to go for scavenger? If I do that, I'm kind of giving up on doing anything in Europe for a while. Because right now I have 4 armies committed to North Africa, and 2 in North Africa, 2 north to the Middle East. Which is a lot. The entire British Army is committed down there. Which might be too much. Because with this willpower of 80, I mean, I'm going to have to, very likely, I'm going to have to take every city in Germany. And the only way to get there. But if I take Stavanger from him, it makes it harder for him to get an airplane to Trondheim or Bergen. And I can interdict his convoy with home fleet. Oh. Yeah, I guess we try it. It's an American surprise attack marker, so I don't care. I'm going to go here, put it in the C zone. This guy's going to naval transport, amphibious invasion, click on the guy to make sure he's highlighted and say confirm the escort. And then we go to here. At this point, the Germans really need to stop this if they can. So they're going to go ahead and put this guy in here. And then we're going to go ahead and play the submarines against the home fleet in the hopes that we get through. And then can get a shot at the convoy. So we did a good number on home fleet. And I'm not going to. What is this? How do I do this? Do I have to highlight it? You can choose to abandon the... How do I not choose? Something screwed up. Let me hit it in F5 and see if that reloads properly. Yes, I want to confirm. So he's going to go ahead and go after me. 0 to my -3. And he got a DD3. So he succeeded. And I have to go home. Now that's a mistake, by the way. When I got defeated here in C-Zone 2, it showed that I could go to these other 2 ports on the C-Zone. That is not the way the rules are written. The rules are written that you stay where you started. You stay in the port that you started from. Okay? You don't get to do rebase to a different port. So that failed miserably. So success in the Middle East, failure in Norway, and failure at Gibraltar. And I think that's it for the West. They're done. I've got a lot of units that I've got to re-up. I'm not going to voluntarily remove anything, I don't think. Or am I? I could get rid of the American fleet. Nah. We're done. We'll keep it there for now. Do this. What is he? Oh, the Italian fleet can intercept me. Alright, so we're going to do this guy first. He's actually going to supply through here. We're going to confirm the escort there. Now the Italians are -1, the Americans are +1, so they're not going to try to stop this one here. So no more interceptions on that one. I'm just trying to make sure that he uses up all of his American sorties here to try and to do this, because I'm doing this the safe way for the Americans and the Brits, which is to go through this one. So I want to keep those 2. And again, I'm at -1, he's at 0 now. Next time he'll be -1 to -1, so I might try it then. But we're not going to do that. Okay. Confirm that. And now we're going to do this a little different. What we're going to do is we're going to hit the American armored unit. We're actually going to try to go out through this convoy. This is snarkiness, because that convoy he'll get one shot at my convoy with his Italian fleet, but it's full. So he's actually +2 for being an American unit, -2 for being a convoy. He's a 0. The Italians are a -1. So the Americans are going to try and just push through this convoy to keep their guys in supply. So here, the Italians are like, I'd like to see him be at -1 like me when he tries to do the airplane. So we're going to say no here, because we only have this one guy to intercept with. Do we want to do that? We could try to intercept here. Then we'd be -2 to -1. No, we want to do it this way. Stop the interception. Confirm the naval path. And then when I do the airplane into here, use the convoy to North America. Confirm. And this is where the Italians decide to intercept. So it's -1 to -1. If I get a good split, I do a bunch of sorties on him. And I didn't get a good split, so he gets through anyway. But I'm only down 1 sortie, so I'll come back up to full. At this point, I say no supply here. This guy, since he has 6 sorties, he can go there. I'm not going to intercept because I can't do anything. Now the question arises. Let's confirm that. Come on. Now this is the next question for the West. Is okay. I'm going to supply this guy here, right? He's going to go try and supply himself. Now the Italians have to look at this. The Americans are -1. The Italians are -2. So if they were to go after him at -1 to -2, not very good odds. The idea here is trying to get the American fleets way up on sortie count so that the the German air here could have a chance to get through the fleet. They're not going to get through the fleet because he's going to have airplanes too. No, we're going to say no more. We're done. I should have just... The math doesn't work out. I was thinking I'd have a better chance of getting him up to 6 sorties, but it's not going to work. And then the Middle East uses up the American convoy over there, so I'm going to have to do some sortie shenanigans here. The Soviets, they're anticipating possibly being able to do something next round. So they move that armored unit up. Then they say they pass. They're not going to eliminate anything. Confirm. Supply all. Alright. So replacements. I saved all the Italian points specifically so I could get all their convoys, their aircraft, and their fleet back up to full. The Germans have a ton to replace here. They have to replace all of their airplanes. And if you look at the box, this is where it becomes a problem. I have to say undo that airplane. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rail that airplane out of here. And I'm going to do the convoy. The reason being, I have 3 chances to try and get Sweden in. So I'm going to go for it. And if the Russians don't come in, then I might have another chance to get Sweden in. So I'm going to take my shot and see if I can pull off a late Swedish entry. That's why I'm doing this, instead of just redoing all my guys. This will let me, from now on, be able to keep both these guys in supply if I want. Depending on the weather, of course. So the one airplane in Spain is going to stay kaputted. So now we do the easy one. He goes up, and 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 he goes up. The British have 23. Much as I would love to go ahead and just build my surprise attack marker this turn, I have way too much that's screwed up here because I need to get both of these things in. I need to threaten the bombers. I need to make him full strength. This guy's completely used up. I'm not sure where I have the med fleet in this convoy. So that zero convoy, which was up in eastern North America, can actually get here to Suez with one move and be able to supply me for 2 turns. I only have one left, so home fleet and this convoy have to kind of do without. It's the best I can do right now. So this Middle East adventure may not work out. Okay. Now we're to the Soviet upgrades. So first up, we're going to upgrade Leningrad and remove one of these infantry units. Next up is a Guards tank army. So we're going to upgrade the 1st Guards, is going to go in the center. And then we've got the 4th Guards army, which we're going to put here in the swamp. And we have to get rid of another infantry over here. We're going to put the 5th Guards here. Get rid of an army. I'm going to put the 6th Guards here. Get rid of another army. We're going to put Guards army on this side. Get rid of that army. I'm going to put a Guards army here. Get rid of this. And then one more Guards army. Now I tend to keep a Guards army in my pocket. This 11th. I tend to keep him around in case I get a breakthrough someplace. Then it becomes kind of important. So you'll see me not bring that one up because I don't get another Guards army until like January of 45. And if I get a breakthrough and can like run an infantry, say, into Minsk, and then in the upgrade phase turn them into a Guards army, it pretty much consolidates a quick gain for a cheap infantry move. I do need to put one in here. This may be an exception to my normal rule. Normally I would do like this guy. That's what I'm going to follow my generalized rules. This armored unit's going to become a Guards. This armored unit's going to become a Guards. And so is... oh no, I don't want to do that one. That one I don't think I'm going to make a Guards yet. Got Guards, Guards. I want to have the Guards be in the north. Okay. So that's what I'm going to do. So I upgraded a lot of units this turn. The Germans do have 1 point left that they can go ahead and spend on this garrison unit. They will go ahead and build him over here in Königsberg to bring him over for defense purposes. Now the British are fairly simple. The Americans are going to buy their surprise attack marker right away. And then they're going to go up here and they're going to bring in their bomber and their fighter. And I can't buy the British one, so... And then this is the decision time for the Russians. If they put the convoy here in Leningrad, they're threatening to try and take out Norway by invading and taking Helsinki in January. They could also put it in Batam and threaten to take out Sevastopol with an invasion. But they don't get a surprise attack marker until January. So my thought was, I won't actually build it this turn. If I come in here at the beginning of December, then at the end of December I will build the convoy. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Yep. Okay. So I'm not going to actually build anything. I'm not going to build it. So the whole reason why I did this was so that the Axis could take a long shot, hoping for some good die rolls, see what happens. They pulled a no event, so it didn't work. The West can't be hurt by a political failure. A political success would open up another front in Portugal, forcing the Germans to have to deal with it instead of running off to the east, making it easier for me to just go ahead and drop an armored unit to play around in Spain. So I think it's worthwhile. Well, I got rid of the pro-Axis marker. Now the Soviets don't really want to pull. Political failure doesn't hurt me, but if I pull a political success, the only pro marker on the map right now is Allied, and I don't want to take that away from them, just in case I don't come into the war. So instead, we're going to make it interesting. We're going to go ahead and reload the cup. And the Moscow Treaty ended. So there you go. Come December, of 1943, the Soviets are back in. It's 50-50 shot, and they came right back in. So now the Germans have a couple of infantry that they lost in the Middle East and an airplane to build. The Allies have some good strategic warfare going for them. The Soviets are going to have partisans that they're going to play right away. They're going to have an ultra, so I'm going to get a double hit, and I don't have any submarines because I did that to save Norway. So Germans could be down 3 factories or 4 factories by the end of the strategic warfare phase. And so we're going to end it here. A little bit over an hour to get that all done. Mostly because I'm yakking as I'm talking and trying to explain what I'm doing. If you're playing with your opponent, it's a lot faster. Turns like this go pretty quick, especially when there's not like the whole Eastern Front to move. So, yeah, that's it for today. It's poor weather everywhere. That matters. It's always fair in the desert, but it's poor everywhere. So we're going to have to see what I can do with the Axis to try and redress my Middle East debacle here. See if I can hold on there and keep the Soviets from making too much headway. So join me again next time, probably this Sunday at some point. I just try to do these on days off, and my days off are really screwed up. I don't have a steady work schedule, so work a lot of hours, but never the same from week to week, it seems. So I should scroll down to the logo for Unconditional Surrender. There we are. So like I say, until we meet again, stay safe and bye-bye.